Sensational superstar.
Gold, one of a kind. Gold, one of a kind.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl, Shauna Ray, and it's Wednesday, and y'all know what that is. It is Boss Talk time. That's right, and it's also Hump Day. So please, in this holiday season, let us know what it is that you're going to be doing to get through the rest of the week. So we have an amazing guest for you tonight, as always. And so I invite you now to go tell a friend, share this link, let them in here.
Sensational superstar. Boss talk, boss talk with Shauna Ray. Boss talk, boss talk with Shauna Ray. Boss talk with Shauna Ray. Boss talk with Shauna. It's time for Shauna Ray. Boss talk.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Boss Talkers. Here we are yet again on another Wednesday night. And I have to tell you, tonight is bittersweet. It's a bittersweet evening for me. It is with a heavy heart that I come before you today. So I'll start with yesterday. Yesterday, December 19th, marked my second heavenly anniversary. It was my wedding anniversary to William Joseph Brinkley. We got married on December 19th in 2008, and he went to be with God and the ancestors on February 2nd of 2021. And so that was a bittersweet celebration that I had yesterday. And to top it off, December is just going to be a hard month going forward, period. It was already hard because in addition to December 19th being my wedding anniversary to William Joseph Brinkley, tomorrow, the 21st of December, will also mark his birthday. And the 24th of December is no longer just Christmas Eve because it also marks the heavenly birthday of his mother, my mother-in-law, Miss Addie Wade, would have been 101 had she made it past 99 and a half. And so December, again, a heavy month. And today will mark the day of the passing of a very dear friend, one who I met as soon as I came to California, shortly after I moved here. And his name was King James Edmonds. And this morning at 10 a.m., King James Edmonds made his transition to go and be with God and join the elders. And he was a special guy. I don't know if those of you who are on here know, he was kind of suave bola, kind of a cool dude in a loose mood, super talented, artistic gentleman, an entrepreneur through and through, and just a beautiful soul and spirit. And he will be missed. King James will be known for Cafe Soul with King James. He had a podcast before there was such a thing, back in early 2000s. And I had the opportunity to guest on his show. He was one of my first guests on Boss Talk, and he was a poet. We did spoken word together. And he actually did something very special for me as February of last year, February 19th. He invited me to join him at the Museum of the San Fernando Valley to do spoken word with him on a Black History Month celebration show. And he invited his longtime friend to that show. after asking me time and time again if I wanted to meet his friend Bill, and I kept saying no, no, and no. And unbeknownst to me, he was asking his friend Bill if he wanted to meet Sean LeRae, and he too was saying no, no, and no. And so King James, in his King James way, tricked us and invited him to the show that I was performing on along with him. And we met. And he has now become my partner. And so, King James, your last act was a class act, as you were, my friend. And it is really hard saying goodbye to you, my brother. Really hard. And so I know it's just so God's timing is magnificent, and it is never wrong, because as I look back at last week's show, we had Ms. Charity Wabuki, licensed marriage family therapist, talking about grief during the holidays. And so as life be life in, here we are today talking about our loss, the loss of myself and um, his beautiful family, his beautiful sister, Carla. Carla, I love you. My heart is with you. Um, his beautiful sister, Lisa. Lisa, we love you too. Our heart is with you as well. Host of nieces and nephews, his life partner, Renee, we love you. Heart is with you. And I just want to share that if you are out there and you are grieving now, if you have lost someone during this holiday season, or even a past holiday season, because grief lingers, we get reminded of it. It doesn't just stop. And so I just offer you my heart tonight too, as we dedicate this show to King James Edmonds. King James, we love you. And you take a little piece of all of our hearts with you when you took a little piece of all of our hearts with you when you transitioned this morning. And know that you were loved, truly loved, for 20 some years by most all of us. And so, yep. Hey, Renee, Nene. She said, hey, boo back. Nene was a King James fan, as we all were. We often say to know someone was to love them, and definitely to know King James was to love him. Now, that don't mean you didn't want to clunk him upside his head every now and again, for truth, but and we still loved him tremendously. So R.I.P. our King James. Absolutely. Absolutely. So tonight, I just want to pay homage to the ancestors. So let's just have a moment of silence and a word of prayer for anybody that you have that has gone on home. And we send our hearts out to you from Boss Talk LA tonight. So just saying a prayer for your hearts in this time. And we're just thanking our God for getting us through for such a time as this. And so I just wanted to say that. I had to say that. It was on my heart, and I believe in sharing my heart that way. That way, nothing is left unsaid. So thank you for that. Soror Terry, yes, just keep the memories close to the heart. Indeed. Thank you, Soror. And I just want to welcome you back. Soror Terry was out for a minute with some health challenges that God has brought her through, kicking and dancing. So, amen for you, Soror. And I love you big. Love you. So, during this holiday season, uh, one of my favorite things to do is watch movies. So I think tonight is an appropriate night to have this guest who is a longtime friend and sister. We have just always, whenever we've come together, it's just a beautiful time of just sitting and chatting and talking about life things and love things and fun things. And so tonight, I am excited to introduce you to my guest. And so I'll tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Lillian Lee. And Lillian was raised as an only child in a very small town called Swainsboro, Georgia. So, with little to no opportunities to explore and learn about what TV, film development, and those things were about, they still captivated her as a child. She used her imagination and made her own opportunities to create shows and stage plays within her small community and church. Now, right after graduation from high school, she immediately moved to the capital of Georgia, the ATL. And during the early stages of her career in Atlanta, she worked as an actress in several stage plays and as a stand-in on several shows as well. Will Packer shows, Tyler Perry produced films. And from there, she learned the skill of script supervising to use to her advantage for her long-term goal. During that time, she became a single mother to an amazing autistic son. She took time away from the fast-paced, rapidly growing Atlanta TV and film industry to focus on the care of her son. She never lost her drive and passion to one day become an achieved writer, director, and producer in the TV and film industry. And so now, Boss Talkers, without another word from me, please welcome to Boss Talk, and let's hear about the rest of her journey, Miss Lillian Lee.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, I don't know why it's not letting you on here. It keeps popping. See, it's wanting to act up tonight. I ain't playing with you.
It's all right.
No, you're not. There she is.
I am.
There we are. Hello, welcome. Uh-oh, lost your voice. I lost your sound. Oh, I think you're muted. Are you? No? Oh, I'm going to take you out and bring you back. Can you hear me? Nothing. Okay. Y'all playing. That's interesting. Love technology. So we're going to figure that out. Okay. Mute and then unmute yourself, Lillian. Nothing. You can't hear me either. Wonderful. Okay. So audience, can you hear me? Okay. That's interesting. I love it when it goes crazy. All right. Let's see. Lillian, I'm going to take you out again. Oh. Gifty Sensei says they hear both of us, but I'm the only Renee Hadley says yes, she can hear me. We hear you, Sean. Okay, Gifty says we hear you, Sean. Okay, thank you. Let's remove LaCora. LaCora, hello, sis. Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm going to get this figured out because this is too okay. On LinkedIn, Lacora says she can hear only me. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I will tell you a little bit more about her while she comes back in. And let's see if we can get this happening. Here we go. Hi, Lillian. Okay. I love it. Let's see if there's some way that we can ghetto rig it. Hello, Lacora. So nice to see you. Chat. Okay. Look in the chat. Chat. Private chat. Okay. So we're going to get this figured out, y'all. Thank you all for bearing with us. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get her to log all the way out. No, I don't have her on master mute. Let's see. Okay. Well, we're going to keep doing this. We're going to get it figured out. I promise you that. So, Lillian and I'll tell you how we met. So Lily and I met. She is good friends with my sister, and she is part of what we call the usual suspects. And whenever we have events, we end up at her house, at Vanessa's house, and we just have a good time. And Lillian and I connected, gosh, I can't even tell you how many years ago, and just always have, like I said, had good girlfriend talk and solve the problems of the world out by the fire pit. And and I saw her last weekend at my niece's auntie's brunch following her big, beautiful wedding. So let's see if we can get her on here. Yes, indeed. Come on, Gifty. We rebuke that devil. The solution is revealed and the problem solved momentarily, as in right now. Thank you for that. I love it. Hey there.
Hello.
Ah!
Yay.
Won't he do it?
Won't you do it? Thank y'all for being
Yes,
patient while we
we love
figured it
that.
out.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you all for just, all those good vibes and prayers y'all put
Yes.
on this. So welcome to Boss Talk, beautiful.
Thank you, Sean Leray. I just love your name, Sean Leray. You have to say it all together, Sean Leray.
Thank you, because you know what happens if you don't. What do I say?
Put some respect on my name, okay?
This is Sean Leray. It's like Mary Ann, only fancier. Hello.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful and very befitting. So I was hearing you, but unfortunately you guys couldn't hear me, but you gave the backstory of how we connected and have stayed connected. So
yes,
glad
absolutely.
to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. And thank you for agreeing to do this. This is a long time coming, and I'm so excited. And I love what you do. And so let's just jump in and start talking about it. So Gifty said, talk about Jesus. Amen.
All right. Jesus is the reason for the season. That's right.
Amen again. And Lacora says, yay. Now, do you know Lacora?
Not the name off the
Oh,
top.
you do? Okay, so Lacora must have found the show tonight because she and I go way back, and it's so funny. You Queens Lacora, just thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I got really dolled up just for you, Sean Leray, while I'm sitting in my living room.
I know, right? Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Pop as soon as you came on the screen, beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So listen, Georgia, and what was the name of your town?
Oh, I'm a country girl, and so it's pronounced Swainsboro, Georgia.
Swainsboro. Now, where's it near?
It's in right smack dab in the middle, or in between Atlanta, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia. That's what I like to say. But
Okay.
it's near Statesboro, it's near Macon, but it's right in between Savannah and Atlanta.
I got it. Okay. Okay. So I've probably been through there.
Yes. Probably saw the sign passing.
Yeah, right, right. So what made you um choose film? Like as a little girl, what was it that drew you to the film industry or just films period as a kid?
Um, I would like to believe that film chose me. Um, you're a kid. What do you have no clue.
Right.
All I know without a doubt, as a kid, when I was so captivated by my first film, and I would watch it over and over and over again. And where other kids wanted to go outside and play, I just kept wanting to watch this particular film over and over and over again, and then just kept falling in love with more and more film. And like I said, I'm a country girl. I literally was almost raised on a dirt road. With my grandmother and great grandmother. And so while my parents would work, I got the opportunity to sit and be with my dear great grandmother. We called her Big Ma. And she loved old films. We're
Ooh.
talking about Gone with the Wind, Grapes of Wrath,
Oh yeah.
Imitation of Life,
Imitation of Life. Yes, yes.
Seven
I think
Brides
you
for
have the
Seven
same,
Brothers.
the same grandma.
Oh, and I just had an awe for those movies and would beg her, can we watch it again? Can we watch it again? And I would study them. I literally would study the lines. Wanted to be Scarlett O'Hara.
Yes.
Audrey
I'll think about
Hepburn.
that
This little
tomorrow.
chocolate girl wanted to be Audrey Hepburn.
Oh no, I'm with you. And what is it? I'll think about that tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow's another day.
Exactly.
Those are my lines, honey. That's my line for life. It's like tomorrow's another day.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
love it. Those were the good old those films and
Oh gosh.
the drama and the and I think that what I always loved about them too is the women were such ladies. They were always dressed so well.
Such a class act.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they started allowing us to see Black films, hello.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Nina Horn.
Yes. Dorothy Dandridge. Oh, yes.
Dorothy Dandridge, just the way that they dressed in this, and then of course
Mhm.
on to
Yes.
so absolutely, I'm right there.
I love that era. I absolutely am fascinated with that era.
Yes. Oh, we got some cousins out here. Hey, she said, yeah, y'all looking good. Hello, cousin.
Oh, hey, Keisha.
Hello.
That family. Sway Girl is in the house.
Here.
I love it. Yep, she knows what I'm talking about. Raising them good old country backwoods.
I love it. I love it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, okay. So growing up, you watched the films, you knew that you loved it and it spoke to you and you studied it. But then how did you end up knowing like, oh, this is going to be my life?
Everything was about acting, and life was always dramatic for me. It was boring if I wasn't telling a story off, or I wasn't, flipping my hair in the wind. I was somewhat kind of bossy, so I would take my cousins and make them play characters whether they wanted to or not. And so I just knew that's a part of who I was. It was just a part of who I was.
Yes.
And it never went away. I'm still the same way till this day.
I love it. I love it.
It never went away.
I love it.
And we'll talk about that later on, how I actually prayed for it to go away so that I can have what I felt would be more of a realistic ideal of what life should look like for me. I prayed for that thing. Lord, take it away. Why am I like this?
Right.
This is causing a lot of headache and grief, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. She said Lily and Lil looking like a snack. Okay now.
Oh. Look, that's the goal. The goal was accomplished.
There it is. That's right. She rocked that goal. Keisha says she was always a superstar, even in grade school. I love that.
Oh,
I
thank
love.
you. Oh, thank you.
And look, Swainburl is in the house tonight. Come on.
Thank
My
you.
favorite cousin, you look beautiful. Oh, I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love it.
Thank
So,
you.
so we know that you moved to Atlanta, okay?
Mhm.
And what happened then once you got to Atlanta? And let's just say hello to my Mr. Seals. Hello, darling.
Hi,
How are you?
Sales. Thank you for joining in.
Yes.
So, movies. Well, so being that I am a small town country girl, I'm very appreciative of my upbringing, but I knew I had to hit the ground running to the largest city possible that would give me an opportunity to tap into this thing I've been dancing around and playing with since I was a kid, which would be acting and creative development for television and film productions. And
Mm,
I really didn't have a full understanding about what it was. I just knew in order for me to figure that out, it would be in my best interest to go to a city that could offer me that. And so it was, I hit the ground running as soon as I could. They handed me the graduation papers. I was, pew,
oh, Bruce's.
I'm out of here.
I love it.
And I went big. Listen, I've always been dramatic. It's either go big or go home.
That's
So
it.
to literally come from a very, very small town and take off not knowing anybody and say I'm going straight to Atlanta. My parents were not all that pleased with that, but my mother also knew I was a force that you just couldn't stop. She was like, let this girl do her thing and let's get out of her way. And
I love
they
that.
let me go, and I went to Atlanta and hit the ground running.
I love that. So you went there not knowing anybody.
No, no,
So
no,
what
no.
did you do? How did you get your first job? How did you meet the people you needed to know?
Well, I did have a relative. I did have an aunt. I don't know if she's here tonight, but my dear Aunt Lorraine, one of my favorite aunties. I love her to pieces. She was probably the only one that was living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. And she didn't really per se live in Atlanta. She lived on the outskirts of Atlanta. But
Mhm.
I knew if I could just get with her and, convince her to let me take up space in her home, that I would figure it out. I was in school for a little bit, and that didn't last too long because I don't know. I just wasn't focused. I could care less
Mhm.
about math equations.
Right,
All I
right.
wanted to do was get on stage, or if not get on stage, get near a stage so that I could figure out what they were doing behind the stage, right?
Yes.
And so she, let me move in with her, and I'm a social butterfly. I've never been shy. That's I think that's a gift though, so it works in my favor that
100%.
I know how to work to talk. I know how to ask questions, and
No, wait,
it could
stop,
have.
stop. Hold on, hold on. You go ahead and say that. I know how to work a room because that's what you were getting ready to say. I heard, I heard it. I heard it. And that is all right because me too.
And it truly is a gift because once I'm done with the room, I'm over it.
Right,
Like,
right,
I
right.
don't need to be, have to call me like, no, like, but it's something about magic just happens for me when I walk into a room and I can say, I need to meet that person and introduce myself, and I'm absolutely going to do it. Um, and I'm like, who am I? But I'm going to be somebody in that room to make that introduction. And it
Mhm.
has never failed me. It's allowed me to converse and go from one situation to another and another and take it and capitalize on those moments. And so even with that sort of ambition and drive and ability, the ability to speak without fear help usher me into rooms that others will probably not still be able to walk into today.
I love that. So, how do you advise someone who doesn't have what you have naturally? What
You know
advice?
what?
Yeah.
Practice. Look stupid at home in the mirror.
Yes, there it is. There it
Literally.
is.
I Nobody's looking but you and God. If
Mhm.
it's something that you think you really want to do, look stupid to yourself first. Just practice. Practice like people are in front of you. Write it out.
Mhm.
Literally, I tell God's blessed me with young people that are in my life, and I speak into their lives as much as I can. It's as simple as write out your intro. Write it out.
Wow.
I am Lillian Lee. I ABC. how can I connect with you? Whatever it is, write it out and recite it, practice it, say it over and over
Mhm.
and over again till it starts to flow off your tongue and
There
it
it is.
becomes a part of who you are. Um,
Absolutely.
and do your best. I mean, my mother is big about this. That's why I'm so fly. You know, what's the song? I put that on my mama. I'm so fly.
Yes,
I
yes.
literally put it on my mama, but
Come
she's
on.
been a stickler for if you look good, you feel good.
Hmm.
Um, if you can feel good about yourself before you walk out the door, that's half the battle.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
get dolled up.
Yes. And
You know,
sometimes you may
get
have to walk
handsome.
down.
You know what I mean?
Come on, yes, even if it's in your living room. Thank you very
Even,
much.
thank you. Hello,
Yes,
sis.
yes. And you might even have to tell yourself all the way to the car and all the way to the room that you are going to go and conquer that you are everything you need to be.
You're everything you need to be.
Yeah, and that mirror thing is real. I'm a therapist, and
Mhm.
I went to an event. I'll never forget this. I've shared this on the show before. I went to an Elisa Nichols event, right?
Mhm.
Now, yes,
Okay.
Elisa Nichols, she's a beast in any
Yes.
room, and she brings beasts together. And
Mhm.
I was at her big old conference in San Diego, and I came back, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Came back so filled with excitement and joy, and just ready to conquer the world and take the next step. But I shared with my therapist that some moments in the room, I was overwhelmed and I felt really small. And she said,
Mm.
up. And I'm like, which one? She said, get up off that couch. I'm like, which one? She said, get in front of the mirror. And I was like, oh, I assign mirror work. She said, not today.
Not today.
And she made me get in front of that mirror and remind myself of
Yes.
who and whose I
That's
am.
right. That's right.
So I think that is really great advice for
Yeah.
someone who, because I think, we all have a natural shape. And so your shape happens to be that fearless and
Mhm.
thriving in a crowd shape. But
Mhm.
there is something to that skill
Mhm.
that will help you get where you want to go. And so
True.
thank you for sharing with people who don't have that skill, who to let them know that you can get it. You can
You
get
can
where
do
you
it.
want to go. And then you go home, you put your PJs back on and go in the corner
There you
and
go.
put yourself in front of the TV. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to know
That's
that you
right.
were afraid
The
and
truth.
that you almost didn't do it. And all
That's
the
right.
right, right. I love
That's
it.
so true.
Let's see what the boss talkers are saying. Tamika says Lillian is definitely the one to watch and someone to know. She makes moves, not excuses. Oh, I love that. I
Thank
love that.
you. That's my big
Yeah,
sis. Thank you, Tamikia.
and Miss Tamika has shared it out because I got a tag on it. So thank you for that. She shared out the link today.
Yes.
And
Hey.
Queen, so nice. She said it twice. I love it. Hello, Queen. She says, looking beautiful, Lillian. Happy you are telling your story and repping the filmmakers. Yes.
Thank you.
What is
She's
that?
amazing, by the way. She's awesome. She's one of the filmmaker, writer, and creator of Fat Girl with Monique. That was her very first
Oh,
feature.
oh, I
She's got
love it.
more in the making, of course, but that was the very first one. She's so dope. I love her.
Yes. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you for tuning in, Queen. And Alan, hey, brother, and congratulations on your bid, throwing your hat in the ring for mayor. I am so proud of you and honored. And I don't know if you saw it today, but I did send you a message. Let me know how we can help you because we love you and are proud of what you're doing. And you deserve it. And the world of Pasadena deserves to have someone with a heart like yours doing what you want to do. So amen
Love
to
it.
that, my brother.
Congratulations. Yep.
Yes, yes. Blondie B says, hi, little cousin Jaleesa, Aunt G, and Uncle Rod tuning in. You look beautiful and we love you. Do your big one. Oh, how sweet. I love it. Your family's in the house.
Thank you,
You are
guys.
everything you need to be. Yes, ma'am. Indeed. And William says, you are only as great as the man in the mirror.
See?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. So they're tracking with you, girl. They are tracking with you. So I know that you started out in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you choose Atlanta for filmmaking rather than LA? Because most people say, oh, the big screen, LA. What made you
Well,
select Atlanta?
just graduating high school, 18 years old, you hit the ground running. Your parents aren't going to let you go too far. I had to claw my way to Atlanta, but I did. And I had a nice run in Atlanta. I learned a lot. I started with the beginning when Will Packer, and at his time his producing partner was Rob Hardy. They had Rainforest Films, but they're doing their thing individually. And I think Rob Hardy's biggest passion was to be directing, and then Will Packer was to be producing. So Rob's a big director, does all American. I think you would see a lot of his work now. He's doing his thing. And then of course we have Will Packer Productions. But when they were together, they had Rainforest Films, which gave me my opportunity to really get a foot in the door and learn as much as I could from the front to the back. I appreciate them so much for that, and even Tyler Perry, when he moved into the Atlanta area, he started making a lot of noise in the very beginning with the stage plays that turned to, film. So I'm really honored to have been a part of that movement in Atlanta from the very beginning. But my experience, I would say I started to realize that a lot of work was coming in from, a lot of work was available, but it was taken up with a lot of people coming in from LA and New York and leaving people in Atlanta with crumbs to, go after, trying to get just a little bit of something on set, whether it be stand-in work, back-in work, one-liners, or a co character role. Like it was we were always getting the crumbs, and it became a battle. It was tough, but I appreciate it too. That I also appreciate it. But at the same time, LA was. I made a few trips out here, just with friends on vacation, and I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
And it kept saying, Lillian, you should give it a shot. And I remember, matter of fact, my dad, his name's Bill. My dad was my biggest fan and my biggest supporter. And I remember when I came back from a trip on vacation, and I called him when I came back. I said, Dad, I think I want to go to LA. He said, what are you waiting for? I said, man, I don't know nobody. What am I going to do about my son? Like, what am I supposed to do? And so he said, well, you know me, your mother, make sure your son's okay until you get on your feet. But what you got to lose? Go for it. Go to LA. Why not?
Love it.
And I remember very much so. We had that conversation in February, and unfortunately, he passed away unexpectedly. February, March, April, May. He passed away in May, and it kind of blew my mind. I didn't see that coming, but pretty much our conversations, and he would say to me, "What are you waiting for? And why not go to LA?" So that always, even after he passed away, it would ring in the back of my mind, like, "What are you waiting for? Go to LA. What are you waiting for? Go to LA."
Oh yeah.
I finally, Atlanta was good, but I felt like I was spinning my wheels in Atlanta. It was tough. My friends are there, my family is there, but I don't know how that's possible. Maybe you can explain this. And if you felt this way before, or somebody that's listening, you have people that love you and that are there for you, but yet still you feel so alone. And I everything I needed was there, but it wasn't enough, and I felt alone.
Right. So I think that the everything that you needed that was there was everything you needed to feel safe.
Oh,
And
there you go. That's the part.
Sometimes in order to grow, we have to step out there into the murky water where we can't see our feet. Yeah.
You nailed it. That's exactly what it was.
Yes. And because you had that safe foundation and that solid foundation, even when you can't see your feet, you know that you're on the ground. Because you're grounded. You're grounded in the love. You're grounded in Big Mom. You're grounded in all these beautiful cousins who
you see, they're here tonight.
Yes, they came out. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what it is. I was somewhat similar to you in that. So I was raised an only child, and as you know, I met my big sister, and that's how we know one another. So,
exactly.
Yes. So when I was a freshman at Ohio U, and she was a senior. I went there and I pledged and all that. And then she graduated and got a job dancing in New York. And I was like, ooh, Daddy, I need greater academic challenges. And my father said right away, yeah, right. You want lights, camera, action. Get out of here. So I
Yeah.
went, and Vanessa was like, "Get a one-way ticket. You know, do your thing. Come see." And so I went, and so then when the time came, and she fell in love and all of that,
I
and moved to
know.
LA, and here I am.
Wonderful Callaway's.
I'm left in New York, but I stayed in New York for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I began to feel that same spinning of the wheels. Spinning of the wheels. And whenever that is, that sometimes is saying you need to get some traction, you got to go to different ground.
Gotta go different ground.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
nailed it.
opportunities will show themselves, and you just have to be willing to take
Yes.
the leap. And you were. So, and here you are.
And here I am. 12
I
years later, I'm still here.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it so
yeah.
much. So coming to Atlanta, I'm sure everything wasn't like, "Ooh, here's Lillian and yay, and let's go," and it's all easy and breezy. And so I want to talk about that in a second. Like, what were some of the snares that you might have run into in Atlanta and here? But Bertha BB Jones is on, and she says
What's up,
Lillian has
because?
says Lillian has always dreamed of being in Hollywood actress. I'm proud of my cousin from Promised Land, Swainsboro. I love
Oh,
it.
love you, cuz. Thank you. Thank you for tuning
Yeah.
in. Um,
Oh, wait, we got some more here. Hold on. Mr. Seal says, I will put the mirror work to practice. Thank you. Absolutely. Hop right on in there. And
um,
Laura Terry says, growth brings about change you need. In order to grow, you must get out of your comfort zone.
comfort zone. That's what it
That
was.
piece. That
Yeah,
piece.
that's
One
true.
more thing. Tamika says, you'll outgrow your hometowns sometimes. It will be home. And we love those people, places, and things of our hometowns as they helped mold us. But when it's time to go and explore,
It's
it's time.
time.
That's right, Tamika.
You nailed it. That's right, Tamika. That's true.
Well said.
It's
All
true.
right. So go ahead, share a little bit about like what are some of the potholes and things that you might have run across in the journey.
Um, there's several. I'm gonna write a book about these several potholes one day. It'll blow people's mind of the challenges that you face along the way. But by the grace of God, you keep going. But I'll say for me, ultimately, one of them would be I'm a single parent. I'm a single mom to an amazing young son. He's not so young now. I got a grown man now. But in the beginning, it was extremely hard because I have, the responsibility of being a mom, and that was priority. But still, yet trying to balance providing for him, protecting him, because he was born on the autism spectrum, and my family, me and my mother, we were like, "What is that? Never heard of that before." It was something different and new for all of us. That had its own challenges as well, and my mother. My mother's old school. We come from a different background somewhat. And my mother dedicated her life to providing for me, making sure I had everything I needed and went without anything. And so when I became a mother, she wanted to make sure that what she was able to do for me, I was able to do for my son. But the way we approached that was from a different point of view. I believed in, I'm every woman and I could do it all. I could still try to pursue my career and I could work and I still could take care of him. But, we kind of battled and bumped heads at times because she was kind of more so on like, you got to let your dreams go and just put all your energy and focus into being a mom and working hard to take care of you and him because it's just you. And I couldn't give into that narrative. I couldn't buy into that. I believe that I literally could do it all, and it was a struggle. But I worked several jobs and was still there for him as best as I could. And my mother was very supportive, and my dad, when he was alive, they were very supportive in that journey. But when I left my village, when I left my comfort zone, my safe haven, and really stepped on faith and moved here, and it was just me and my son, that's when it was really like, oh my God, what did I just do? And that was a super uber challenge. But the beauty in that challenge was it made me reflect on why do I want to do what I do? Why do I want to be a filmmaker? Why do I want to tell
Mm,
stories? Why do I want to be a writer? Why do I want to produce?
yeah.
Why do you really want to do this? If
Yeah.
I tap into the why, then I can rest in knowing that it will all happen when it's supposed to, because there is purpose behind me doing it in the
I
first.
love that. I love that. So it sounds like, because the next thing I was going to say is when, so I'm a brain girl, right? So I know that we have this part of our brain, and that's the reason and logical and all of those things that sort of let us hone in on something and focus.
Mhm.
And this part back here is emotion led. And so when there's drama going on and when we're in like, I gotta make it happen, I gotta make it happen. So let's call it survival mode, right? So
Yes.
when we are trying to survive, this part right here can shut down. So how do you manage to create in those times when I gotta get baby boy taken care of, I gotta put food, baby needed a new pair of shoes, the car note is needing to be paid, the house note, the this, the that, and I'm on this show, and how do you do that dance and still get your creative juices flowing?
um, that's a great question. I need to take the pressure away from being creative and
Mhm.
allow creative my creative juices to flow however they were going to flow.
Oh, yes,
Um,
huge. Say that again. Yes, yes, yes.
Meaning that, sometimes in those survival modes will be where I could find the most creativity from, because writing would help me escape what I was dealing with.
Mm.
Creating a character, I say this, I love characters. Characters I create are like superheroes to me, because where I couldn't quite express myself or people couldn't understand what I was going through, I would be able to release that emotion through a character that I would develop,
Mm.
and I would use that to kind of vent, and in that venting would become creativity. But then I also had grace on myself and took a step back and said, you don't have to be so creative right now. Just take
Yes,
a break,
yes.
relax, focus on what is important, because you don't want to be homeless talking about I used to be an actress.
Right, and I was going to be a filmmaker.
I was gonna be a filmmaker. Um,
I love it.
it was so important for me to understand that I needed to take the pressure away. And in survival mode, you do what's necessary, but then there's levels of survival mode. I
Mhm.
wanted to not be forgotten in television and film, like, hello guys, don't forget me, I'm also doing this thing too, although I'm not as active because I have this responsibility over here.
Wow.
But once I released myself from the pressure of it and said, the gift of creativity, it really never goes away.
Yes.
It's a gift from God, and
Mhm.
it will come to you when you're 60, 70, 80. And creativity should be about purpose driven work
Yes.
versus then look at me, I'm creative work. Does
Ooh,
that make
come on.
sense?
Yes, it does. So much, so very much. Oh my gosh, I love that. Let me see what they're saying out here. Lanny, hey, Soror and Sands. Welcome back to Boss Talk, baby. She says, yep, I understand being surrounded by so many folks, yet feeling alone becomes good transformational time. Ain't that what you just was talking about?
Yep.
Absolutely. That transformational time. And Lanny is super creative.
Yeah.
Areas. And I think that it's time that transformative space opens up a whole new kind of creativity. And you can
Absolutely.
use what you survived through and get real creative with telling that story. So I do love it. I do love it all. Dan Bridge, hi,
My
big
big
sis.
brother.
Ah, he says this is the brother
My big
Rivello.
brother Rivello. Rivello and I are first cousins, but I hate that we're that's my big brother.
I
He
love
let me
it.
sleep on his couch many days while I was trying to figure out my way in
I
life.
love it. And see, he says, I'm glad to see you at this level and
Yeah.
all of your success. All right, big brother. Thank you. Thank you. What does Alan say? Alan says, embrace the new opportunities and see the difficult times as preparation for the growth and the blessings that exist in the
Oh,
future.
I love
I
that.
love my boss talkers, I
I
tell you.
love that.
Tamika says, why do I feel like I need to be a guest?
You
You
do.
do?
You do. Matter of fact, check her out on Rap Shit. She's amazing. I'm a fan of hers. She's an
I
exceptional
love it.
actress. She's
Well,
on
she's
Rap
already
Shit
my
right
best
now. If you
friend.
watch it on HBO Max.
She is. Oh, I'm gonna do that. She is already my best friend because she shared this out and it popped up on my phone and I put it in my story. So
Yes.
yes, we will get you
Now, please
on.
support her. She's awesome.
I love it. She says, this is a vibe. Shout out to you, Queen Sean LeRae. Brava.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. I received that and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Queen, very helpful insight. And yes. And Tamika said, and of course, my sister is killing it. What's she doing? Practicing for all the talk shows and her TED Talk. Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
thank you, Mika.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate
And
it.
I love that. I love that. See, they are speaking into
Yeah,
your future,
I
beautiful.
receive it. Thank you.
Love that. And Lillian, I just want to say this. I know that everything that you have gone through is for such a time as this, and all of the what I love about you is the way that you're able to pour yourself into everything, whether it is your work that you're doing, a film you're working on, a character you're playing, a character you're creating, or just sitting down and kicking it with Dale. This is why,
Yeah.
and and the way we do, and I love that about you because you're so real, and I
Yeah.
love that.
Oh,
Yes,
thanks.
create. I love
Yep.
that.
Create.
I love it. And so, my gosh, it's coming up to here's that Rose Crown. Hi,
Oh, my
mom.
son.
Hello
Hey.
there. Welcome.
Love you,
I love
son.
it. I love it.
He's
What's
my
his
biggest
name?
motivation and inspiration.
I love it. What's his
Yeah.
name?
I Day Lee.
Oh, I love that. I
I
did.
Day.
What does it mean?
King's Crown.
Yes, indeed. See
King's
there.
Crown. I Day.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Hello, Ide. Thanks for tuning in, young man. So, you know what? We are getting close to the end, and I'm so sad, but I knew that it was going to be a whole, just like when we sit together and
I
talk.
know,
There's so much
right?
more to say. But what are some of the things that you are working on? If you want to share something that
Sure.
we can pray for, because we got some praying folks on Boss Talk.
Yes. It's been a long time coming, but I'm grateful. I want to shout out first of all to my team, LLEE Productions. God's blessed me with a group of people that support me. For one, they believe in me and they're working with me, and I'm so excited for what we're going to be delivering in 2024. I have two producing partners, Rosie Neges and Monique Johnson. They're some powerhouse females. They've been in this industry for a while, and they're in high-powered positions. And they tell me all the time, we get people that come to us with content and ideas, but instantly they believed in me and what I've been working on, and are working with me to get this content created and developed, and hopefully ready to be produced and released in year 2024, 2025. So I do have a feature film that I've written that's in creative development. We got some A-listers attached. I can't do any name dropping just yet, but I'm so excited to have these A-listers. I know they're going to be game changers, and good thing about it is they can act and sing. So I'm looking forward to working with them as well. I have a pilot that's been in the making for a long time. It's titled Sweethearts. It's my baby. It's been the one that we talked about,
Yes,
Sweethearts.
yes.
You're aware of what that one is about. I wanted to give up because I branched out and released this back in, I think, right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit, and then shout out to another TV show by the name of P Valley. And it was slightly a few comparisons, but I applaud, the production itself and the cast and the crew. I love to see Black people working on set. I love to see our faces on
Yes,
set and on screen
indeed.
as much as I can. So by far am I a hater. I salute them, but it made me go back in my bag and be like, okay, so this is not the same. My story's slightly different, and there is absolutely room for mine just as well as it is theirs.
Absolutely.
So, and we've proven that. So you will be seeing that come into play next year as well. And there's also a musical in the making and a biopic. And so, LLEE Productions is we're grooving, shaking, and moving and working. And when I hit the ground, I'm gonna boldly and say this out loud to the universe and to those that love me and support me. Cover this with prayer. My name will be in the lineup with Lena Waite and Issa Rae, Chandra Rhimes, Ava DuVernay. You will hear Lillian Lee's name as a filmmaker, writer, producer, and
Yes.
hopefully in the future director.
Yeah.
I still gotta work on that skill, but
Yes. And Tamika White said it best. She said, yes, hunty. Shout out, go Lil.
thank
Absolutely.
you.
And I don't think that there is a person here tonight that does not believe that you will be right up there with those other beautiful Black sisters and
Thank you.
doing your thing with your.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So this is where you can find Lillian Lee at Lillian Lee at LLEE Productions.
Productions, yeah.
Yes. And then at on Instagram, there's her link at Empress Lily
Hmm.
and Facebook Lillian Lee. So go ahead and save this so that you can return to it anytime and go and save Boss Talk and click that little subscribe button
Yeah.
and the little bell so that you know when we are back. And we are here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Central, and 9 o'clock on that East Coast. So, y'all, I just love this woman so much, and I'm so grateful to have
I
had
love you right back.
her tonight. Absolutely. I am Sean LeRae, and you can find me on my website if you need coaching is livinglovedcoaching.com. If you need therapy, livinglovedhealing.org. On Instagram, we are Living Loved Healing. On Facebook, we are Living Loved Healing. And in honor of the late William Joseph Brinkley, whose birthday is tomorrow, we have a nonprofit called the William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation. And that is where we help people, Black people in particular, and other people of color, BIPOC, affirm our greatness in the way that only we can. And so we are using the arts and all creative things to do that. So, and we also offer therapy there as well. And you can find us at www.wjbcenter.com. And I am your girl, Sean LeRae.
Ray.
Yay! So
Ray, you were awesome. I
thank
so appreciate
you,
you for
love.
having me on.
Oh, it was so good. So good. And let's see. Blondie B says, we love Lillian and her cousins are rooting for her. Keep that energy and spirit. You'll accomplish every goal.
Thank
Queen
you. I love
music,
y'all.
offering you clapping hands.
Mhm.
And Bertha BB Jones says, praying for you, stay focused. And
Thank
that's
you.
right, y'all. So play out with us as we jam to my song, my very own theme
I
song. And
love
shout
this
out,
song.
isn't it great? Shout out
Yes.
to Wayne, Lindsay, and Alana Lindsay. And I got to be with them last night. Shout out to Lynn Fidmont, who is the mama of Alana and Courtney. Courtney just did a beautiful musical called Bethlehem. Look it up. It was in Pasadena. It is getting rave reviews, and he does it with young people, and he has just poured his heart into that, and he has a great big old heart. And Alana is one part of the two parts of God. GAWD, that's good ass women deserve. So
I love
them
it.
out on Instagram, and the voices last night of her and Reggie and oh gosh, I forgot the other guy. He sings country as well as everything else. And Lynn, shout out to you. You did a beautiful show last night celebrating your original music and the Christmas tunes that make us all smile. This has been Sean LeRae with Boss Talk. And now y'all know what to do. Live loved and shalom, y'all. Peace.
Happy holidays, everybody.
One of a kind.
It's been Boss Talk, y'all. We love you. Happy holiday.